teachings of Jesus, he said we're to love the Lord our God with all our heart. Teachings of Jesus, he said we're to love the Lord our God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, and to love our neighbor as ourself. And of course, our neighbor may be that person we encounter on the street, that person who may even experience an opioid overdose. So it's important that we be prepared to meet the needs of our neighbor, and that's what this is going to do for us today. And so I'm thankful. I'm looking forward to the training that's going to happen with our students later. And Attorney General Griffin, I'll ask you to come now and give some remarks.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for welcoming me here. We actually met a long time ago, and in a different setting. But so we've been doing in a different setting. But so we've been doing these one pill can kill events at different 4-year and soon to be a lot of our 2-year institutions around the state. So we started off at the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville, and then we did UALR, and then we did UAPB, and this one is the fourth one. Did we do? No, okay. Yeah, Fort Smith last week. So we've got like 50 to do, and we're going to hit them all. And we're using opioid settlement funds, which is really, really helpful. These funds flow from the settlements we've had with pharmaceutical companies, with pharmacies, et cetera, as a result of the opioid crisis that hit our state, continues to hit our state hard, but hit our state hard over the last 20 years, I guess, but also the nation. You know, we've lost hundreds of thousands of lives, millions of lives. But something has changed in this fight, in this issue that we have with opioids on the streets. And what we have seen, we've gone from a very significant deadly problem to an even more deadly problem. So let me explain how that has played out. So the crisis facing the country was focused on prescription drug opioids. So the prescription drug opioids, as you know, have a medical use. They're prescribed by doctors, and they are abused by the individuals who get the prescriptions, and they're also abused by people who get them from someone who had a prescription, right? And we've been grappling with this and made great progress with this component of the opioid problem. We had the settlements, we have continuing litigation, holding some bad actors accountable. We have had an increased awareness and training with regard to our healthcare professionals on the dangers and what best practices, what they look like versus what used to happen. So this is ongoing, but we've identified the problem with prescription drug opioids and continue to get our arms around that and make progress on that. The one thing we knew and know about prescription drug opioids is they are what they say they are, right? They're dangerous, potentially, when abused. There's a medical purpose, as I indicated. But when you get the bottle that says oxycodone, and my brother died from prescription drug opioids in March. He had bad back surgery, and the pain was so excruciating. For years, he had to live with oxycodone in particular. But the advantage when it comes to combating that is that when you look at that pill from a prescription bottle, what do you know? You know it's what it says it is. Produced in a prescription drug factory, pharmaceutical grade factory. still potentially dangerous, but it wasn't dangerous because you didn't know what you were taking. So enter the new problem that is on our streets now. A lot of it is nested in the 2-year, 4-year schools with young people, because that's who the bad actors want to get addicted, right? And young people are more likely to be out at parties, drinking, want to try something, right? And that's why we're targeting the age group, the younger age group that is going to be attending colleges, 2-year, 4-year, et cetera. But the problem we face now goes beyond the old problem. Because now, when you hold a pill, you don't know what it is, right? So you hold a prescription drug pill, it's dangerous potentially, but you know what it is. So the danger is not the unknown nature of what you're putting in your body. The danger is, are you putting too much? But with the new one, the danger is you have no idea what it is. And the illicit opioids, the illicit fentanyl that's on the streets is not being made in a pharmaceutical grade factory. It's not otherwise used for an appropriate, proper medical purpose. The ingredients that are being used to produce the fentanyl that's on the streets, that's why I call it illicit opioids versus prescription opioids. But the ingredients that are being used are being shipped from China. They're being shipped from China to the United States, south of the border actually, to Mexico. They're manufacturing there, and then it comes into the United States. These people that are manufacturing it, the people that are shipping from China, which are endorsed by the Chinese government, and I'll be talking more about that in the weeks to come. This is well known. This is all. In fact, there's been a congressional report on this. So these ingredients come from China, they go south of the border, and then they end up here. These people who are manufacturing these illicit opioids are not interested in your health. They're not interested in the pharmaceutical grade. They're not interested in the purity of the product. They're not interested in whether you live or die. They're not interested in any of that. They're interested in getting as many people addicted with as strong a pill as they can. And if they lose a few, they're good with that. That's just the cost of doing business, right? There are plenty of others who will use it. And that's truly their attitude. So, the one pill can kill moniker, that brand that we're using, happens to be true. Now, if you're an adult and you take one prescription drug, one prescription strength opioid, as a general matter, that's not going to kill you. Because we know what it is, you know the dose, etc. This illicit stuff is more dangerous in that it is truly Russian roulette. You have no idea. So they're made to look, often made to look like legitimate pills, but they will use any kind of filler. When I was in Congress, we used to talk about the counterfeit pills that are made, literally to take up the space not used by the drug. They use concrete, they use sheetrock, they use whatever. They don't care. They just need anything to fill up the space because it doesn't take much fentanyl. It can be barely laced with fentanyl. And then whatever else is in the pill, the color, whatever, they don't care. Because they're not interested in your health. And so literally one pill can kill. And one pill can get you, at a minimum, can get you addicted because they're uber strong for a purpose to get you addicted quickly. And that next pill you get at the next party may be your last. You know, I said at the last press conference, actually the one before last, that I was talking about the chain of custody. Who's handled the ingredients and the pills before they get to you? You have no idea. So think about this. If someone said, here's a hot dog, and pass it down to 10 people across 10 countries, and it got to you, would you put that in your body? No, of course not. That's what you're doing with this pill, except the hot dog would probably make you sick. The pill can kill you. But that is the type of, that's the ridiculous nature of this. Who knows how many backpacks this has been in, how many nasty factories, where these drugs came from when they were ingredients, what was in them, what wasn't in them. You're just putting it in your body. And what happens is people's guard gets down at a party. They've had some drinks or a lot of drinks. And someone says, hey, you ought to try this. And some never wake up. And so this is really important. And we're tackling this in 3 different ways. So the awareness part is really critical. Educate people, inform people, so that they never make that bad decision, right? The second component is treatment. So if you did make a bad decision and something emergent happens, right? You pass out, you lose consciousness. What do you do then? Well, that's where the Narcan training comes in, right? We're going to train 75 people, which I think is that's a big number for this school. So we got 75 students that are going to get training today. And they'll be evangelist, force multipliers. They'll spread the awareness, but they'll be able to help on the treatment part. So on the treatment part, I'm using funds certainly to teach the Narcan and all that, but we're also helping with some of these facilities who provide treatment to those who are addicted. And then the third category is law enforcement, prosecution, right? Where we've got new laws that deal with fentanyl, and we help any way we can our partners battling it in terms of fighting the criminals. So you've got raising awareness so people never do it, never take it. Treatment for those who made that mistake, whether they need it to save their life immediately when they've had an overdose and lose consciousness, or whether it's a longer term treatment. And then we have the law enforcement component. So we're active on all fronts, and partners like y'all, that's really where we're going to make a big difference, because we're able to hit numerous people at once and have not a quick bumper sticker conversation with them, but an in-depth conversation. And when they start to learn how to save someone's life, because we've got dummies, they start to realize, wait a minute, this is like a mock-up of a human. This is real. This is medical training. And that flips a switch for some people. And they say, wait a minute, this is really serious. So I appreciate y'all teaming up with us. I just had a great talk with some of the students just on career and lessons I've learned unrelated to this. But you're going to have a great training immediately after. And we bought food, didn't we? Yes. Good. So any questions from anybody? Do you want to say any additional words? It's your microphone and your podium.
No. We're thankful that you all are here today, and we're thankful that you think about even the small folks like us to come out and do this.
So I went to college across town and was talking about, very well aware of the great work y'all do here, and have spoken right here. I don't know if anybody was in the room when I spoke here. Anyway, I think I did that as lieutenant governor. I think I did it as a congressman too. I had hair then, and it was darker. So yeah, a long time ago. But and I had a really good relationship with Dr. Kimbrough, and I'm My dad was a Southern Baptist minister, my dad, my granddad, my great uncle, my great grandfather. People looked at me and said, "What happened to you?" I said, "Well, the Lord wanted to minimize the politics, so he kept me out of the Southern Baptist pulpit." Anyway.
You're making a big impact. We
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you for
Thank
having
you.
me. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you all. Thank you all.